Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're officially moving past those early days of treating artificial intelligence like some shiny new toy that just writes funny poems or generates quirky images. By digging into the latest data, enterprise case studies, and actual daily user habits from 2026, we're going to see how AI has quietly but completely matured. It's truly become the operational backbone of knowledge work today. So get ready, because the way we work has fundamentally shifted.
It's the elephant in the room, isn't it? Is AI actually doing real work? Okay, let's dive into this. For a really long time, the hype was definitely outpacing the utility. We had all these isolated chatbots and flashy demos, but translating that into day-to-day, reliable productivity, well, that felt like an incredibly heavy lift. Today, we're going to contrast that lingering skepticism with the concrete reality of what is actually happening on the ground right now.
Because look, the data absolutely proves it. According to the Anthropic 2026 State of AI Agents report, we are no longer talking about simple single-step tasks. 57% of organizations are deploying AI for multi-stage workflows. And even more impressively, 16% have progressed to cross-functional processes that span across multiple teams. AI isn't just an assistant sitting around waiting for a prompt anymore. It's an active, orchestrating participant in complex production reality.
Section 1. Quietly powerful daily tools. To really grasp this shift, we have to start at the micro level with individual knowledge workers. A recent deep dive into Reddit productivity communities highlighted these exact applications. These are the quiet powerhouses. You've got Proactor.ai delivering real-time action items during meetings, so you literally never have to scrub through a recording again. ChatSlide.ai is generating clean presentation decks in seconds. Then there's Claude Code. Users are actually calling it their vibe coding tool for calm, contextual debugging, with many explicitly noting that the $100 max plan is worth every single cent. Makeform.ai is totally replacing clunky legacy builders for smart surveys, while Vozo.ai is nailing video translation right down to the lip sync. And for your personal workflow, Jobright.ai acts as a relentless, automated job scout, and Tights.studio automates the wildly tedious editing of screen recordings.
The crucial takeaway here is the contrast. On one side, you have these overhyped, bloated AI concepts that promise the world, but essentially demand you change your entire way of working just to use them. On the other side, you have these quietly powerful daily drivers. What makes them so successful is that they actually stick in a routine. No massive learning curve. They just quietly eliminate the friction in your day without any of the unnecessary hype.
Section 2. Building the future with BIM. Now, stepping up to the specialist level, let's ground ourselves and define a concept called scan to BIM. Imagine scanning a massive 10,000 square foot building with a laser. What you get back is a point cloud made of up to 500 million chaotic, incredibly messy data points. Historically, an architect literally had to manually trace walls and pipes through that visual chaos, a process that took months. Today, machine learning algorithms just crunch that density and automatically identify the architectural shapes and mechanical systems. It literally turns a multi-month nightmare into just a few weeks of automated processing.
And this brilliantly illustrates just how staggering the time savings are. BricsCAD BIM is hitting 95% accuracy on automatically classifying standard building elements. Orivis is cutting mechanical and plumbing modeling time by 70%. TestFit, and honestly, this is just wild, can generate 3,000 valid site plans in 10 seconds based on your specific constraints. And Swap, it takes the absolute most tedious task in architecture, producing 100+ sheets of construction documents, and turns a 3 to 4 week manual grind into mere hours.
Section 3. Solving marketing attribution problems.
Now, if you thought architectural point clouds were chaotic, try tracking multi-touch customer journeys and ad spend across the internet. It is a mess. But before we look at the software solving this, we need to understand account-based attribution. In B2B sales, a single person almost never makes a purchasing decision alone, right? It's a buying committee. Account-based attribution uses AI to track and aggregate all those marketing touchpoints at the holistic company level. It maps the entire journey of multiple stakeholders within a target account rather than losing the plot by tracking individual disconnected users.
And we are seeing an entire landscape of tools stepping up to solve this exact problem. Cometly provides server-side tracking paired with an AI ads manager that actually recommends cross-platform budget optimizations. Triple Whale uses AI to instantly analyze creative performance for e-commerce. Rockerbox measures actual AI incrementality for massive enterprise omnichannel retailers. And Dream Data maps those incredibly complex buying committee journeys for B2B SaaS. The bottom line? Platforms exactly like these are helping marketing teams confidently slash their customer acquisition costs by 20 to 40%.
Section 4. Enterprise Autonomous AI Agents.
Zooming all the way out to the macro enterprise level now. Consider this insight from Alex Alling. He's the CEO of INXM, a startup that just emerged from stealth with 5.7 million euros in funding. He says, "We have seen firsthand how enterprise AI projects fail. We have set out to build AI that finishes the work for you." I think that perfectly captures the massive frustration out there with brittle, broken enterprise integrations, where highly paid knowledge workers are still just copy-pasting data between ERPs, spreadsheets, and emails to close out a month.
So how do you actually fix those brittle integrations? Well, INXM is bringing in a concept they call compiled AI. Traditionally, if you use a standard LLM at runtime, you're asking the AI to interpret every single transaction on the fly. And that can be unpredictable. Compiled AI flips the script. It uses the flexibility of natural language to design the process, but then it generates deterministic, testable enterprise code to actually execute it. So you're getting the deep intelligence of an AI model, but combined with the rock-solid, auditable reliability of traditional code.
And hey, speaking of code, we absolutely have to talk about Devin from Cognition AI, widely recognized as the first autonomous software engineer. The data shows nearly 90% of organizations are now using AI for coding in some capacity. But Devin takes it way further. It plans, writes, tests, and ships production code independently, right inside the tool chain your team is already using. It takes over the repetitive engineering work, meaning human developers can step back and focus entirely on complex system architecture.
Section 5. The real ROI of AI. So we've covered everything from daily apps to autonomous engineers, but what's the actual bottom line? Let this number sink in for a second. 300. At Novo Nordisk, getting life-changing medicines to market requires clinical study reports that can be up to 300 pages long. Historically, writers could only knock out a couple of these a year, and manual delays literally risked $15 million a day in potential revenue. By implementing an AI-powered platform utilizing Claude Code, they accelerated this highly regulated process from months into mere minutes. That is a staggering reality check.
And right on the heels of that is 40%. Over at Doctolib, which is Europe's leading healthcare technology company, they embedded AI directly into their continuous integration pipeline. The AI automatically handles routine maintenance and updates technical documentation. They replaced their legacy testing infrastructure in just hours. And today, with AI as the most used tool among their 300 daily engineers, they are shipping features 40% faster.
So, we've seen the data, we've explored the tools, the multi-step workflows, and those massive ROI numbers. AI has officially transitioned from a novelty to the hard infrastructure of modern work. Which leaves us with one final, provocative question inspired by the teams building these very agents. Now that AI is completely ready to handle the repetitive engineering and the heavy lifting of your daily workflows, how will you step up as the architect? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Think about how you can apply this reality check to your own work today, and I'll see you next time.